Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk about why promised is eager instead of lazy, and why we can just turn a promised eager into a lazy one. Okay, so on my screen you see we have a simple HTML element, but I don't think we have any element yet. So we have the body tag and we have the function that just generate some element first. So we don't see anything on our website yet. We see it's a blank here. Now what if I run this function and testing? We got the p tag for testing, and if I keep adding something like this, we'll return testing1. We know that. Okay, so now I have the fetch item, that is return an object first, and if we want to get the value from this promised, we should use then, and we got the data, and we can sort of log it here if you want to see the data from the console window. You see that? Now I want to use the grep function to print out this one. So let's run that. Okay, after 2 seconds we got async promised result. Okay, now I want to move this sync to the bottom. We still get the value from async last. That is the way JavaScript does. Okay. Now let's remove the testing one, so it's cleaner to see. Okay. So what if I move this function inside this one, and I change the testing into scene one. Okay, inside the promised, because it's outside of set time out function, so it has a scene code. And you see we got testing second. So you see this is eager. This is a scene code, right? And this is the scene code one. So it's just print out, and we know that it's eager. If we move this one on the top of the code, we see it's gonna print out first, and then we got scene promised the second, and the last one is async promised result. Okay, so what if I keep adding more, like graph, and here that is a little bit different. This is async promise, and let's change this one to async. So what do we get? We got testing first because it is scene code, and we got scene code promised inside the promise, but it still runs, and this is eager. So if we write promise here, we might see it's not really a promise, but it's just a normal code. So testing first, and if we move this one to the bottom, we still see the scene promised run first. So this is eager. It just print out without calling then method. So if we comment the then methods for that promised, we only get the eager value. The testing, as we know, the scene promised is eager, and then async promised is still eager. You see, we still have to wait 2 seconds before we get this async. Let's run that again. Testing, scene promised, and async promised. So if we want to get everything, we should use then, as we know. Okay. Now, what if I don't want to get the scene promised or async promised right now? Just wrap everything inside a function. So let's we call this one lazy for understanding that one. And we know that we just need to return. We can return in the bottom, so that's easier to read. So now we don't see anything inside the promise. It has been wrapped inside a function, and that is the way we turn this eager feature into some kind of lazy, if we can call that. And now if you want to get the value inside the function, we have to call that function. And see, scene promised, async promised, and async promised result. Obviously, if you want to get the value inside the promised, inside the result function, we should call then as usual. So let's call that function with the value from promised, and then we got everything we expect. Okay, so now that is the way we understand eager in promised, and we somehow turn the eager feature into lazy. So thanks for watching, and see you in another video.